Hey you guys, I'm here with the tutorial for my eyebrow routine. Just to start off fresh and real, these are my raw natural eyebrows. You can see very bushy, very natural, very imperfect, and I'm going to show you guys how I clean them up. This is what you'll need to do your brows if you're looking to learn from me today. You'll have to start with a razor first and foremost. I use this one from the hair store. And then you'll also need a brow pencil. This is a TopBrow pencil I got from a beauty supply store, and it's by Kiss, the brand. Very inexpensive and it works well. And just so you know, on the end it does have a pointed tip for accuracy, which I think gives you more realistic hair strands as you draw on your eyebrows and fill them in. And also it does have another side that has like a blending brush. I also use my Anastasia one because that one doesn't have any color on it and it's easier to comb through my brows with. Besides that, the next thing that you'll need is a shaping brush. I'm not sure if that's the right name for it, but it's going to help you to shape your eyebrows when you dip it into your concealer. My concealer, I mix all these different colors together. It's a little messy and old, so don't judge me. But basically, let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is start by shaping our brows. So I always tell people it's important to hold your skin taut as you go ahead and start to shave off the excess hair. That's going to prevent you from cutting yourself. It's going to allow you to work in a better line that's clear and doesn't really get crooked as easily. So I'm just showing you guys how I go about that, just making sure that I'm holding my skin and just shaping around any hairs that seem to be out of my arch. You create an outline for your brow shape, so it's no specific shape that you want. For me, I just want to make sure I see an arch and I want it to be clean, so I'm gonna get rid of that extra hair that's on like almost my forehead and basically create like a sharper line for my brows so they don't look as round but a little bit more long and squared off. I do have pretty like bushy brows, so I'm not looking to take it all off, but just enough so I have the shape that I want. As you can see, as I'm razoring, it's really not even getting a lot of hair off. It's just creating a shape that's easier for me to fill in around. Any imperfections that are there, you can easily fill in with your brow pencil when it's time. But besides that, once we go ahead and create a cleaner brow, we're going to go ahead and brush our brow strands to make sure that we don't miss any hairs that are out of place. So I brush up in the front section of my brow first and then down towards the end, creating the swoosh, I would call it, the swoosh of your eyebrow where it all comes together. So I brush up and then brush down towards the ends of my eyebrows where there's kind of like a swoosh shape. I'm going to cut the strands along top of my brows. That's basically just to make sure your hairs don't end up going out of place. So just cutting those hairs on top will make sure you don't have as many hairs that get out of place when you're trying to fill in your brows. I wish there was a more proper way to say that, but that's what I'm doing. Now, once we go ahead and get all that shaping done, it's time to fill them in. Now, when I fill in my brows, I use very small, light strokes. This ensures it's going to blend well and not look all chalky and clumpy. So if you see, I'm kind of moving the brow pencil in like little strokes, nothing like drawing across like a picture, but really in small strokes, just like your hairs would grow in. Very gradual, very patient with it, not heavy-handed, very lightly. And that's just going to make sure these look very natural. It's going to look like hairs that are in my brows versus drawing on your brows with a pencil. I feel like some people go overboard. So just fill in the gaps. That's all you have to do. Fill in the gaps. Wherever you see that it looks like your brows are spotty, fill that in. But don't feel the need to color in all the lines and make it look jet black on the inside. That's not natural. No one's brows naturally look like that, so be mindful. Don't do the most. And always remember, there's no such thing as perfect brows. So once your gaps are filled in, just blend in the brow with basically the brush that I showed you. You're going to blend in all the work that you did with the pencil and kind of make it so all the hairs are connecting with the brush lines you created, and just fill in wherever it looks like it's spotty and go ahead and make sure it looks pleasing to you. Doesn't have to be perfect, just pleasing to you. And for me, I just want the top of my brow to match with the mid part of my brow, because that's really naturally my thicker part. I go ahead and touch up the end of my brow because that's where I want it to be sharpest. And then once that's filled, I define my brow arch with the concealer. Now, when I first put on this concealer, I start in the middle because that's the part I want to make sure is sharpest. I had to add a little bit of a darker color because that was a little too light. But basically, you want to add the concealer on in the heel of your arch, just because that's where it can be a little thicker, because that's where you want it to be very defined. And also, as you go towards the ends, it'll be less heavy, so it'll be easier to blend through your face. Follow the desired shape of your eyebrows. There's no perfect eyebrow. Some people like arches, some people don't like as much arch. I like my arch to be pretty serious. I like for it to be fairly thick at the top and towards the ends slim out a lot. So basically I'm going over that line again and again until I feel like it's perfect and I feel like it's defined and I feel like it's the kind of arch I want. And once that concealer is in the perfect place, I blend the concealer into the skin with my finger, just making sure that concealer doesn't show where it ends and is actually blending into my bridge of my nose and the ends of my face, and just looks more natural. I hate it when I see people with like a whole like bleeding of concealer into their nose bridge or in between their eyes. It just doesn't look good. So yeah, just make sure you blend that out. Sometimes if I'm rushing in the morning, I forget to blend as good and you'll regret it. So just take your time to blend it good. And after you blend it, go ahead with your brush and just play with those little hairs at the front just to make sure it looks natural and doesn't look like there's a blunt line. And once that's done, you just repeat the steps on the other side. Go ahead and fill those brows in, brush them out, and then go under and create your arch and make sure it's clean on the top and the bottom, and then you blend it out. Blend it out, define it out, blend it out, touch up that arch, blend out the top. That's it, pretty much. And I always go back to back with my dry shaper just to make sure like the level of my brows are the same. And then I'm just showing you how I do my makeup. I put on my base, now I'm putting on my shadow. And I'm feeling real orange right now, so I'm blending that out. This is just like a little bonus how I do my eye makeup in the morning. Quick and easy. I'm not doing any foundation. I'm literally putting on eyeshadow, eyeliner, and mascara and calling it a day. My famous winged eye. I'm real simple. But yeah, I just wanted to give y'all a completed look with my eyebrows. Go ahead and add a little bit of eyeliner for that. Purple's doing it for me. And then I'm using my Fenty highlight to light up the arch of my brow and right in between at my waterline. But yeah, y'all, these are my brows. All done. All real. Nah, not real. But they look real. They look real natural. But yes, you guys, I appreciate you watching. I hope this was helpful. I hope it was enjoyable, and I hope you learned something. Make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, and share if this video was helpful for you. And I hope you guys have a blessed day. Thank you for following me. My name is Haley of Lovely's Hair. Love you guys.